More bombshell testimony in the Sean Combs sex crimes trial from a new star witness who is going by the pseudonym Jane. She's Diddy's recent ex-girlfriend, now testifying in graphic detail, saying he pressured her into a drug-fueled sex marathon similar to ones described by another former ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. Now, Jane is among several witnesses who accuse Diddy of violence. As the federal trial is wrapping up a fourth week of testimony, Combs has pleaded not guilty to all of the charges, including sex trafficking and racketeering. So NewsNation senior correspondent Laura Ingle is live for us outside of the courthouse there in Manhattan. So Laura, what is happening right now?
Hey, Nicole. Well, we are back from lunch break, and that means that Jane is back on the stand. And again, this is a woman who Sean Combs was dating when he was arrested. She had dated Sean Combs for a couple of years, and we're going through a very tearful testimony and a lot of stories about what was happening in these hotel nights, which Cassie Ventura, another ex of Sean Combs, had described as freak-offs. Same sort of thing. These pre-arranged sexcapades that were happening with these women, as Sean Combs would arrange and have others help arrange men to come and have sex with the women that he was dating. And as we're hearing from Jane on the stand, who's wearing her hair there, you can see in the sketch, she's got really long hair and she's got it kind of off to one side. It almost appears as though she's kind of shielding her view of Sean Combs as she is going through really graphic detail of some of the things that she says took place while they were together. And in one particular episode, she was talking about all the men that she had to sleep with that was directed by Sean Combs. And one in particular, a trip that she took to Miami where he said, let's go to Miami for your birthday and have fun. And she said, oh, this is great. I'm going to go be with my boyfriend. I can't wait. I'm in love with him. I just want to spend some alone time with him. They get down to Miami. They go to dinner. They go to Nobu. And he says, I can't wait to find out what the entertainment's going to be. And she said she had just this horrible feeling. She had gulped in her throat, a knot in her throat, saying, oh, no, you know, I know what this means. And she said, entertainment. He said, yeah, don't you want it to be, I want it to be exciting for you. They go back to the hotel and she describes a man being up there that he had prearranged, and she knew what that meant. And she described through tears having to kind of turn on this other persona just to get through it all. And so that is the direction of her testimony right now. Again, we haven't gone to cross, but that is expected to happen today. We had been told that Jane was going to be on the stand for a couple of days. It could wrap up as soon as today, but she may carry over into Monday. But again, this is a very important witness. She is one of the victims in this case, and her identity being protected right now. Sean Combs, for his part, watching her closely, not as closely as yesterday. Yesterday, he was really laser focused on her coming into the courtroom. Today, he's kind of looking down, passing notes to his attorney as she moves through some of these really sordid details of what she says took place. Nichole?
All right, so Laura, you mentioned Combs' behavior today. Yesterday, you broke the news here on NewsNation Now of this very serious warning from the judge to Combs, to his lawyers. Talk more about that.
Yeah, so the Combs team got admonished by the judge, who said, out of the presence of the jury, because the judge can see Sean Combs directly, that line of sight, and said, look, I can see your client looking over at the jurors, looking like he's trying to make eye contact, nodding vigorously during some of the cross-examination, like, yeah, and he's trying to, get some momentum going with the jurors. He said, you can't do that. Passing notes to your client is one thing, and going back and forth, him looking at his family, that's another, but you are not allowed to look at jurors as this testimony is moving on. He apparently had been warned about it before, something that we didn't know until yesterday, and he said, basically, one more time, the judge said, one of the consequences here could be removal. Sean Combs could be removed from the trial entirely if he catches him doing it again. And then his attorney was asked, Mark Nichole, do you understand? Do you hear me clearly? He said, yes, we do. So today, Sean Combs basically keeping his eyes down for the most part, not looking over towards the jurors. We'll see if that lasts.
We'll see if it lasts. All right, Laura Ingle live there in New York. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.